Welcome to the Trail Chaser Podcast.
This episode is presented by Icon Vehicle Dynamics. We just picked up a full set of Icon shocks for Matt's Frontier, and once we get him installed, he may have a chance to keep up with me. If you don't want to get left in my dust, go to iconvehicledynamics.com and get Icon equipped. And by Nexen Tire. The Roadian MTX continue to impress us with their on- and off-road performance, and we have pushed them really hard in the last year. We are fully confident that you will love these tires. Go to nexentireusa.com and get a set of Roadian MTXs for your rig.
So many comments right now. Today on the show, we talked to Brandon Currie. He tells us about what RockJock is up to these days and what they have planned for the future. Also, if life ain't bad enough, somebody else we know buys a Ranger. Truly dark times, people. Thunderdome's a-coming, and it's coming fast, everybody.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to trust that person again, and Cody makes do with what he has.
Time for the Trailchasers podcast. Are you ready? Let's begin. Trailchaser, yeah, I can chase your adventure. Trailchaser, our time is now. Get out there and chase your adventure. Get out there and chase your adventure. Get out there and chase your adventure. Get out there and chase your adventure.
All right, we are live on YouTube. We are streaming, and we have Brandon Currie joining us from RockJock on the Google Meet with Matt and Jose. How you doing tonight, Brandon?
I'm doing good. Made it home from work, and now time to work a little more.
Yeah, made it home from work. Which, if you're listening to this several months from now, that's probably not a big deal. But the reality is that half the world is shut down. The other half is burning. And it is crazy. It's June 1st, 2020, and there is madness going on in the world, and we're just trying to figure out a way around it. So thank you for joining us. We connected. You and I don't know if you recall, but at SEMA, you and I did a really brief interview. Funny thing there was Aaron used to work for you guys. Through that, I met the Currie team. I met Brian Shepard from your marketing team. And at SEMA, and I think I've told this story, I'm at SEMA and I'm like, I want to talk to the RockJock guys. And I go over and I kind of wait and you're available and I start talking to you and I look over my shoulder or over your shoulder and my wife is just chatting it up with Brian Shepard. I'm like, what's going on over there? Why is she so interested in that dude? Come to find out, my wife and her ex used to hang out with him at car shows and they were very familiar with the Currie team and all kinds of stuff. So they kind of reconnected. And that was kind of a lucky benefit for me. And so since then we've had a lot of conversation with Brian, and he's the one that kind of set this up. So I appreciate you guys being willing to jump on the call with us.
Yeah, for sure. Brian's been with the family for a really, really long time.
Yeah, that's what it sounds
and
like.
Actually, his brother Travis also works for us.
Oh, really? Does he work on the Currie side or the RockJock side?
No, they both work on the RockJock side now.
Okay.
Obviously, they both were on the Currie side before, and I think it's like 22 and 23 years or something like that.
Wow.
I forget the exact amount of years, but yeah,
I'm sure
they've seen it grow over the years.
Yeah, I'm sure Currie/RockJock is one of those jobs you land and you don't let go of. You're going to stick around for a long time. Yeah. Let's talk about that. We'll talk about the brand and the company and stuff, but I find it interesting. Like, you grew up as a Currie, which probably when you're 8 years old, you don't know what that means to the rest of the world. But did that growing up a Currie, do you feel like you had like pressure to be in motorsports, or did you feel like you just were presented the opportunity to be in motorsports?
Definitely presented the opportunity. My upbringing, I grew up in Jeeps in Moab. I actually was lost in Moab, or my parents thought I was lost in Moab when I was 5 years old. Oh, no. To find out that I was asleep in the back of the truck, for 2 hours. And thought I was gone, but. Grew up in the industry, loved being outside. I ended up taking the path of two wheels for quite a while, racing motorcycles and scooters and stuff all over the world. And then coming back, I stopped racing, and then it's like motorcycles, and I was like, all right, let's get into four wheels. And my dad and Gerald from Savvy actually gave me the opportunity to drive the '88 car in the King of the Hammers, and then that kind of brought me back into, I guess, the whole off-road Jeep 4-wheel drive scene. So, out of high school and college, I got an engineering degree. I went and worked, basically created my own career with the hopes of someday doing something with my dad. And I thought it would be completely separate outside of Currie and or RockJock. But then the opportunity came up a little earlier than I expected, and I jumped over, and now we're running with it.
Yeah. So you've held, I mean, other than the motorcycle racing career that you had for several years, you held other jobs before coming to work for the family business, right?
Yeah. And that's something, I think my grandpa kind of set the foundation a long time ago, is like the third generation, really needs shouldn't be coming into the company, right? Go do your own thing. Hone your skills and everything else, and create your own path. Mm-hmm. And one of those reasons, we're a really tight family, we're really close. And then all of us trying to work together, there's inherent conflict if you're all trying to run, work and run the same company. When there's, three in the second generation, and that trickles down to 5 or 6 in the next generation and everything else. So,
and you don't want to be taking orders from your nieces and nephews, like telling you what to do.
Exactly. Yeah. So I went and did my own thing. Most of my cousins, actually, we all kind of went and did our own thing. Casey was I would say the most heavily involved, not with the company, but in the industry, mm-hmm. With all the racing, the 4-wheel racing he was doing. And then Cody, his brother, was working with him on his race team before they jumped into the Currie side. I went to work and worked at Oakley for 7 or 8 years as a engineering manager, and then went to a small startup for a couple more years because I wanted to get more experience with, more of that small company versus a big corporate company. Mm-hmm. And then this opportunity kind of arose, and we jumped right into it, and we're, I guess, 6 or 7 months in and moving along. Everything's moving forward. We're, staying alive through all the crazy COVID-19 mm-hmm. stuff. And I'm proud of the team that we have and what we're able to get done with less people, and just trying to stay alive and keep pushing forward.
And how do you think, because I find that interesting. I think with a large company like Currie being there, I think a lot of people would just jump into the family business right out of high school and make that their thing. But you guys have all chose to do something different. How do you think working at different companies as in different roles prepared you to be propelled into the CEO of a large company like RockJock? I mean, that's got to be a tough transition.
Yeah, so RockJock to me is small. Currie and RockJock togetger to me is small from what I came from.
Really?
So,
well, I guess you're coming from an Oakley, which is
Oakley. That's a $2 billion a year company, and what, tens of thousands of employees worldwide.
Yeah.
Coming to RockJock, obviously is smaller, but I think the background and working outside of the family, outside of even the industry, has taught myself a lot. You're thrown different obstacles every single day, and you use your toolbox that you've learned over the years on, how do we get through this? How do we fix the issue? How do we move forward and make the best of it? And I think if I just went straight into, working for the family, out of high school, I don't think I'd be prepared. Yes, I would learn a lot, working my way up. But I think really jumping in and, having the experience of a really large company and also a startup that was raising money and everything and capital, and making really good business decisions to keep money in the bank versus just spending it. Those are the things that help me jump into the role and help, I guess, get the split between Currie and RockJock, formalized and moving forward, so we can move forward on our own. We're basically a startup company that has revenue, which obviously every startup in the world probably wants to start with revenue.
Yeah, revenue, a fully developed product, a customer list, and a name recognition.
Yeah,
maybe some good ideas.
Yeah,
of experience.
for sure. But as far as like the company itself, right? We could barely get credit cards under RockJock.
Oh, really?
We can, like, opening up bank accounts was taking a long time.
Yeah,
getting our internet set up, like all the little things that you think are so easy and you take for granted. Like I could go personally get a higher credit limit than they were giving our whole company that already has revenue. Like all the little hurdles that, we had to jump through, I think are really opened our eyes even further on, what it takes. And it's this whole learning experience. Yes, we split a company. It was more like an acquisition, though. We learned a lot in essentially purchasing the RockJock brand out from underneath Currie. Obviously, we didn't purchase it, but that's kind of the steps you take.
Yeah,
when
the
you're splitting
transaction.
a company, you're doing a carve out, and it also got my cousins and I and like all of us in the same room together for, a bunch of meetings and getting to work like really closely. We've always been close outside of work. But it was fun and challenging and, all of this at the same time, making sure we're making the right decisions that benefit both of us. And, not being too greedy here and there. It's like, hey, we all got to compromise. We all want to, succeed. And ultimately I think both companies are going to come out much better. I think being split up, it really just lets us focus on our bread and butter, our core products. So suspension, steering, sway bars versus drive terrain. They're similar. Obviously we're in the same space, but they're such different product lines, and letting us focus and market in our own ways, I think is going to be beneficial for all of us.
Yeah. And that, I find that very interesting. Like you said, that from outside looking in, you think the Currie and the RockJock name, they're giant owns. It's just a different mailing address, right? But it just goes to show that from the outside looking in, even if we think it's an easy path or an easy transition, you guys had to struggle through just like any other startup would, just like any other business, trying to figure out how to make, get all the financials lined up and all that stuff. And I think it's interesting that, like I said, for most of us, we'd think, Currie's been in the industry for 412 years. They should have no problem. You know what I mean? But so talking about the separation, what's the team look like today at RockJock? Do you have an idea of how many people you have, how many heads you have?
Yeah, so we have, I think it's around right now, I think we're at about 18 people. And, we have... everyone's wearing multiple hats.
Yeah.
The warehouse team, obviously they're assembling, shipping, packing out, all of that. We have our machine shop. But internally in the office, everyone's wearing multiple hats. Some days I'm helping, put in orders and ship. Some days I'm, working on system updates to better our processes. Brian does, marketing, but he's also on the phone doing sales.
Mm-hmm.
Our purchasing guy, Travis, is doing sales and purchasing and like supply chain planning. Like everyone is doing everything.
Yeah.
And we all, we all come together to be able to keep it moving forward and keep our costs down, especially, with the environment we're at. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Should we go hire someone or not? Like, where could we use help? And it's like, hey, let's take a step back. We're thankful that we're moving forward, and we can pay the bills and all of this. And yes, it's a bummer that we all have to work that little extra bit harder, but I think it's going to create a stronger team to wait until we start rehiring once we kind of know what's going on with the economy and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a tight group of of people. Everyone is, getting along great. Obviously there's bumps in the road all the time, but we're doing our best to keep our customers happy and ship product every day, and keep up with kind of the demand and stay alive.
Yeah. I got the chance to tour the Corona facility prior to the split when, and I was really, really surprised at the amount of people in the facility building the product. And I'm surprised, meaning like I pictured this giant machine of thousands of people, just like one guy puts a screw in and then sends it down the line. And that's not the case. It's these are craftsmen that are hand building these products that all of us drool over on a daily basis. And they're, you can watch them take a raw piece of material and turn it into a Dana 60 or sway bars or whatever. And it's really interesting to see, again, from the outside perspective, the name and what you imagine, like the Willy Wonka factory versus like the boots on the ground people actually doing the work. And it's impressive. It's impressive that a small, tight knit group like that is able to put out a product that's got so much impact on the industry.
Did you just try and insult him with a Willy Wonka comment?
No, no. I've already.
You saying they make candy?
Listen to me.
Sweets?
I insulted his dad already.
Their workers? Are you calling their workers tiny orange people?
No.
That wear funky jumpsuits?
I already insulted his dad once. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice.
Wasn't that at Off-Road Expo? Never hearing about that.
Oh my!
He talks about it.
Oh, we talk about it all the time about how we had just come off a ride and drive with another manufacturer, and I was excited about it. I was talking to John about suspension, and I started mentioning another company's name, and I just felt like I literally, Jose and I walked away, and I was like, "That's the last time we talk to those guys. They will never talk to us again."
I was like, "Bro, what are you doing?" And this was just as you guys or the company had split too. Like, right when, yeah.
Yeah. So, like we said earlier, we are whatever the opposite of a real journalistic empire is. We are not that. We're just a bunch of.
It all works. That's the off-road industry. It's a hodgepodge of people and talent and
orange pitches.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So the RockJock stuff. I mean, you guys started making in the 80s. I did some research in the 80s. You guys started with this, Johnny joints and the anti-rock and stuff like that. And then, now that's your full-time thing. And the products, the steering, the accessories, and all that other stuff. Most of that is geared towards Jeep, correct?
Yeah. So Johnny joints is wide open, right? It's street applications, off-road applications. It can be used, on any vehicle. But I'd say, our main business where it's like, hey, this is a finished product, bolted on is all pretty much based around the Jeep product line, which we'll be looking to expand. We've dabbled here and there. We still make some control arms for, muscle cars and some of that. But, our main focus is the Jeep product line and actually finishing out the whole Jeep product line. Obviously, the JT Gladiator just came out. We're still missing some products on the JL, which also translate to the JT. And like my thought is let's complete the whole Jeep product line in terms of the Wrangler and the Gladiator. And then obviously we have quite a few products for some of the, the Cherokees and some of that, but, all the current, the most current models, Wranglers and Gladiators and all that, I want to have, kind of everything for, from bolt on to, long arm stuff and all of that. And then from there, okay, let's see what's, where we have demand. Is it in the side-by-side market with sway bars? Is it in,
it's going to be in the Ford Ranger market. You see, pretty soon, no one's going to be driving Jeeps.
No,
the Jeep world is going to be complete. They're going to be completely replaced by the Ford Ranger. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So most likely the next street driven will be the new Bronco.
Yes.
We're excited to see what actually comes out and what we can make for that. I know Ford's put a lot of focus on it to kind of compete with the Wrangler. We'll see. Obviously, everything is pointing towards an IFS front, which you can make very capable. A little bit different than the Wrangler, but we're looking forward to bringing the ties of my dad and my grandpa. They all had Broncos for years and started exploring in Broncos. So kind of bringing some of that old memories and heritage back into RockJock and kind of see where it goes.
I'm good with that though, because there's a lot of transferable parts from the Bronco to the Ranger. I mean, so
you think not? No, there's not.
You don't know for sure.
I'm hoping. Speaking of the Bronco, Jose sent a video to us. There's I don't know if you saw it, but the Fast Lane truck has a video out of from Bronco Nation of Broncos actually wheeling. And they demonstrate.
Send it over.
Oh yeah, we'll send it. There's a demonstration of a rear wheel dig where they're trying to make it around a left turn, and that left rear tire locks up, and everything else spins around. And there's
I just thought it jammed, like there's a typical
no,
it just broke down. Oh, they meant to do that.
Yes, that was intentional, jerk.
FYI, the Toyota Land Cruiser's been doing that for years.
Yeah, whatever though, but it's a Toyota. No one wants that.
Whatever though.
It's not American made.
No one.
The Tundra's more American made than a Ford F-150.
That's probably true.
So what do you? So obviously you're focused on the business, and I'm sure you're spending 20, 30 hours a week at work. Nothing major, and then what are you doing? What are you doing on your free time? Like, I mean, you have the ability to do all of the things that we want to do on our free time. Like, do you go dirt bike riding still? Do you take the side by sides out? What kind of stuff do you do when you're not working?
It just depends. It depends on the time. So we spend a lot of time. Well, I have two kids, so we spend a lot of time at the soccer field and the baseball field until obviously recently. But then, out jeeping, taking the side-by-sides out. I like to ride mountain bikes. We have a place down at the river, so we're always down there also. And just, I like being outside, and I want my kids to be outside. So everything from, trips to Moab and, exploring in the Jeeps to hanging out in the desert and the side-by-sides and riding motorcycles and all of that to working,
Yeah.
I think obviously it's work, but it's also kind of setting up the future and seeing something grow is fun. So I enjoy getting to the office and working through the hiccups of every day and coming home like, okay, we did something today. So that's also, I guess, part of the hobby is pushing the company forward. So,
well, speaking of that, when you go out and do the stuff in the Jeeps and the side by sides, do you ever take products that are in development, put them on your rigs, and go out and test them yourself just to see how they work?
Yeah, we always do that. You have to test everything in the real world before you go and release it. So whether it's test fitting to everyday use and abuse, my sister joined the company also, and she has more of the CPA finance background. So she's acting as the CFO that does kind of a little bit of everything like we all do. But we just got her a new Wrangler, and there's prototype parts on that that she's driving back and forth to work every day. And then, we go out wheeling and let her beat it up as she's learning how to off-road. So
that's cool. So you're getting not just the Brandon and John Currie experience in Moab, but you're getting someone just bought a Wrangler and they're commuting it, and you're getting feedback from both sides.
Yeah, it's it's you got to test. Like I'd say I don't know, 70-80% of the people that are buying the products, the majority of the use is on the street, right?
Yeah.
You were going to say the mall, weren't you?
The soccer field.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. It's like it needs to drive well. It needs to handle on the street, and then as well perform in the dirt. So getting the everyday, driving back and forth to work, and comments from whoever, hey, this seems unstable or whatever. I got a weird. Sorry, my alarm's going off.
No worries. Mine
Do you
usually.
have a genie in the background?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm going to turn mine off because mine will go off at 8:00 every night and I forget. So thanks for the reminder. But yeah, and I mean,
genie will go off.
Yeah, my genie pops out of the bottle. The
Nice.
The research and development process. I mean, that's got to be the toughest part of the business, right? I mean, once you have a product that you can sell, I would think, the marketing and the product placement and that kind of stuff is some like a tried and true type of process. You guys have that figured out. How does that compare? No.
every product is different.
Really?
The economy is different every time you release a new product.
True.
The social platforms are changing every time you release a new product. But in general, my dad John has done. He's, I'd say, the main, I guess, creative mind behind all the products. I have an engineering background and degree, but I haven't even been able to fully jump into that type of role yet, just because we've been so focused on getting the business up and running. So with my sister and I being able to focus on the business, it's, letting my dad really continue to focus on product development and have the creative solutions that he's always come up with, starting, with billet aluminum, like knobs that were on the the CJs way back in the day, the plastic ones that used to break. Like that was one of the first RockJock accessories.
I remember those. Because I had two CJs and I remember those things. And you guys, that's when you guys were out in Orange County off of Kramer. Yeah.
We were off of Orange Thorpe and Tustin. Rose, like that intersection.
And I remember, driving past that big facility on a regular basis, being like, "That's Currie, that's the place." And then you guys moved to Corona, and now you've got the two different buildings there. But that R&D process, I mean, is that just John and you guys sitting around going, this isn't working the way I want it to work. What could I do to fix it? And then just start banging out a solution to a problem? I mean, how do those ideas come up?
It's a little bit of everything, right? So you look at the product line now, and when a new vehicle comes out, you kind of have a list of what you want for the new vehicle. And then during that R&D process or the review, once you get that new vehicle, you may add in a few more products to that, right? So, one of our number one part numbers is the steering for a TJ, which, it's the steering for a TJ. Like there's so many old TJs out there. Everyone needs a steering, like a good, solid steering solution, right? So, okay, now the JK comes out. Do we do a steering for the JK? Yeah, we should probably do the steering for a JK. If for a TJ, that's one of our best, part numbers. So that's kind of, where you get your basic product development list from, right? The previous vehicle. Once you get out there, you start breaking stuff. Okay, this is where we can make things better. And that just kind of, cycles through. And, as you continue to look at a platform, you always are coming up with new ideas. So the way, I guess the way we look at it is we don't want to copy anyone. We want to be, we want to use our own ideas, our own manufacturing methods, our own, systems to improve somebody's Jeep or vehicle. Mm-hmm. So it's, we have our base products like the Johnny joint that's that can be used and modified in all the different Jeep applications. But then expanding on a short arm or mid arm suspension kit to a long arm kit to we're really known for sway bars now. Everyone knows an anti-rock. Whether they call it a RockJock anti-rock, they're still figuring that out. But everyone knows the name anti-rock.
Everybody knows the name.
Yeah, everyone knows the name Johnny joint. Yes, it's probably a little bit confusing where to buy that stuff from right now, and that's what we're working on. But it's like these legacy products that keep us moving forward. And we're done with the front and the rear anti-rock for a JT and a JL. Okay, what's next? Well, because so many people know that we make sway bars and anti-rock kits. Okay, let's dabble into more of the bigger truck market with pre-runners, race trucks, and ultra 4 cars. So we're working on full 70-75 billet arms for a 35 spline sway bar instead of our smaller 25 spline sway bar that we use on Jeeps. So it's how do we continue to leverage what's known into other markets?
And to add to that, I mean, we're starting to see you've got the overland build trucks, and that's even starting to grow into full size trucks with full overland and rooftop tents. And the minute you load all that stuff on there, your weight management, your factory sway bar isn't geared for that kind of stuff, and I think even those applications, because you guys are so well known for the sway bar kits and the performance of them, you could almost expand that into any vehicle that we're all bolting crap onto the back of and trying to go out and adventure in.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that we already have, prototypes in the works of different sway bars for JKs, JLs, and JTs for the added weight, for the rooftop tents, for people adding, 700 to 1,000 pounds in the back of their JK to go exploring for, 2 days or a month. So we are working on, more overland specific sway bar kits for all of our standard platforms, and then even beyond that. So we already partner, I guess, supply certain companies that make sway bars for full size trucks. But that's another area that we could put the actual anti-rock name to use. It's resources. Product development costs money.
Oh yeah.
It's not even the money to develop the product. It's it costs a lot of money to have inventory. So when someone wants to buy something, that you could actually sell it to them.
Yeah.
So that's where you have to balance everything out.
We had a conversation with the Nissan guys a couple of weeks ago, and that we had the conversation about R&D and about how it costs $1 billion before you even get a truck off the lot, right? I mean, I'm sure that ratio for parts and manufactured goods like what you guys doing is also pretty high. For a $200 part, there's probably exponentially more R&D time and material costs and tooling and getting. Now you got to take one of those guys in the shop that's been building X product, teach him how to produce the X product, and all of that. How do you manage all that? I mean, do you guys have like product roadmaps that you're trying to work from, or are you responding to customer demand?
Yeah, it's a little of both, right? We do custom stuff for customers that are buying in quantities. So it's a little of both. If a customer comes and say, "Hey, we need this. We can sell X amount of these a year." It's like, okay, how do we prioritize that over the next project? And really, releasing product is it is a lot more than just the development of the product. It's how do you market it? How do you have install instructions, which are a pain. You got to market it, get it on your website, create part numbers, set pricing. So you have market research on what can the market actually bear to pay for this, and how much is it going to cost us to make? Is
it even worth it?
Can we actually make any money on this product?
Yeah,
those are all the things that you learn with each new cycle of development, and it's fun. You think you have it figured out, and then the next project throws a little twist at you. So,
well, and I'm sure the next product probably spawns the next product, which then spawns the next like as you have success in this, that gives you the resources and confidence to move on to that, which then grows into this, right? I mean, I would think it's kind of exponential like that.
Yeah, it's as you see certain products take off, it always makes you think like, hey, how do we use what we learned here over in this other segment? Or this product is doing so well on this platform. What other platforms can we use this on? And a lot of those products, and I guess lines of products, the more that you expand, the cheaper it is to release each iteration.
Mm-hmm.
But because you're taking what you learned and moving it to that next product. But then you get to where it's like, all right, our demand is, we're going to guess at what our demand is going to be for our initial buy-in, and that could be 1 month supply, or it could be 3 years supply, because you never really know.
Yeah.
So it's if it's 3 years supply, okay, now you laid out a lot of cash that's going to be sitting in inventory for a long time.
Yeah.
So
and that capital, when you invest that capital in one thing, you've now tied it up, and you can't invest that capital in something else until you get more. That's got to be a constant balance, trying to figure out pros and cons. And that's got to be, I mean, part of it's probably fun, like the challenge of coming up with the solutions, but it's also got to be kind of nerve wracking.
Yeah, it is for sure. And different parts that require, a lot of tooling is even more nerve wracking, right? It's one thing to go laser cut, parts out, because you can start with pretty low volume, and there's not much tooling costs and everything else. But when you start forging and casting parts, you have a lot of money in tooling, and you got a lot of money invested in the lead times and everything else. So it's something I don't think there's any like right or wrong, way to figure it out. It's more of, I guess it's how, how close can we get to making this work?
Yeah. Like managing the uncertainty so that it just kind of gets you where you got to go, I guess, is managing chaos.
Exactly.
Well, so looking at the product line, and you've talked a little bit about expanding, what's the end goal? Have you guys defined what RockJock's going to be in 3, 5, 10 years? Do you have an idea of providing suspension products for everything on the market, or sticking with the race stuff, or have you had the chance to define that yet?
Yeah, really, it hasn't been specifically defined. I think we all saying, like, my dad and I, and even my sisters, our main goal right now is is to define our processes internally, so we can provide kind of the best product and best customer service we can to our customers, whether that's a WD account or a direct customer or a jobber or a mom and pop shop, whatever it is. How do we set up our company so everyone feels like they're part of, they're part of the success of the company? And that's kind of what we're focusing on right now. How do we become more efficient so we can spend more time answering questions for the customers and all of that? So, the short-term goal is, like I said, to complete the product line for the Wranglers, basically the JL product line and the JT product line, and then expand on the JK product line a little bit. And then I'd say next is, where can we focus on, pushing further into the whole, the anti-rock brand underneath RockJock. How do we expand on that brand that's so well known? But as far as, our 3 to 5 year goal is get people to really understand the difference between Currie and RockJock. With, Currie is obviously a legacy name and company that focuses on drivetrain, and RockJock is, that same family and legacy, but focusing on suspension, steering, sway bar, more of the components in kind of the off-road industry.
Yeah, I feel like you guys got the better deal.
To push back into the the street market as well.
Yeah, you guys got the better deal. They're doing drivetrain. You get to do everything else, like all the fun stuff. Like,
I don't know. They're both fun. Seeing a big fabricated housing and connecting 40-inch tall tires together is pretty cool.
Yeah,
there's a lot of mechanical stuff involved with that. That's fun.
we had talked one time about the comparison of off-roading versus like drag racing and power sports, and I was telling them how when I was touring your facility, there was this giant third member with these like 12-inch axles, and Brian said it was for a drag racer, and it was like that big around but only that long, and it just looked really cool to think of something that beefy but squatty to get. Well, I guess Matt's beefy and squatty all at the same time, so I'm used to that. That's cool. He's not even paying attention to me anymore. So as the product grows, I mean, again, going back to your facility, you guys have a lot of space there. As the product grows, are you going to be able to expand and continue to produce stuff out of the Corona facility? Are you guys planning on staying there long term?
Yeah, right now we'll be here for at least 5 years. I think we're, or maybe 4.5 more years is our current lease on that building. But I don't see us moving right away. I think we still have room for efficiencies within our building and being able to inventory more and produce more. We have a decent sized machine shop that services both, our own products, and then we also do some machining for outside vendors as well, just to, keep the machines all running and making sure we're paying the bills, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But 90+% of it is, we're making products for our own company, and and we like to make stuff in-house. It gives us the control if, inventory is running low on certain things. Hey, let's shift, a few projects, or, let's shift the schedule around in the machine shop so we can jump on this and, have it back in stock in a few days versus months. When you're relying on other companies.
Yeah.
We try to do as much as we can in-house, and even if it's not, the most efficient way, but to still provide a top quality product.
Yeah, well, I think
by doing it. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
By doing it in house, you also have control of the quality that's coming out too. You don't have...
For sure. I think that's another thing. It's the guys in the shop take pride in what they're doing because they know it's going into our own product. And if there is something wrong with it, they're going to have to redo it. They're going to have to hear about it. So for sure, I think it does keep the quality at a higher level. And obviously there's tons of good partners to work with that have very high standards, from, laser cutting vendors, powder coat, machine shops, all of that. But definitely, having the product manufactured under your own roof, there's a lot of big benefits for it.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Mm-hmm. You'd talked about developing processes, and I am a spreadsheet nerd. Like spreadsheets, flowcharts. Matt, don't give me that face, Matt. Look, if we're gonna have an opportunity to talk about flowcharts, spreadsheets, and Gantt charts,
and we don't have to.
Like that's my jam. Like I should have started a show about nerd stuff, not this stuff, because I have more fun on spreadsheets. So going back to that, how much of the process stuff are you borrowing from previous experience, and how much of it are you developing whole cloth from the ground up?
Yeah, so coming from a very large business that everything is flowchart spreadsheets, standard processes, all of that, to a startup where, we were creating all the new processes and standards and everything else. That's kind of, what we're doing with RockJock. A lot of the processes and standards were just developed over the years, and were they right or wrong? No, but how do we look at those and how do we make them better? How do we make sure any order in before 2:00 gets shipped the same day? How do we how do we take care of our customers in a timely manner with a limited staff on the phone? All of those details, I think, are what we're trying to improve on to set us apart from, our competition. So
I feel like he forced you to answer that question. And I think a better answer would have been, do you really want me to answer a question about spreadsheets? I mean,
but you're really going to do that to me right now?
Yeah, thank you.
Listen, he's going to do all kinds of
nerd show he's trying to start.
Listen,
He's trying to recruit you for a nerd.
Brandon is going to go do a bunch of different shows. He's going to do the circuit. He's going to talk to other off-road shows. Nobody else is going to ask him about spreadsheets. That's the kind of content right here. Exclusive content right here.
He already remembers everything. He already remembers you from insulting him. About spreadsheet questions. I mean, come on, man.
I accidentally pushed accept before I realized.
Exactly.
What's the over-under on how many times they talk about that every week?
No, look, they don't talk about it. I will say, we were at the four-wheeler adventure expo, and your dad was walking from the entrance, and he walked, and he looked at us, and we were like, "Hey, John," and he turned, and he came back to talk to us, and I don't know if that was because he recognized us or didn't recognize us, and he hung out for a couple minutes, and then he turned around and walked away. And I remember Jose and I were like, "Well, maybe he doesn't remember me. That's a good thing." Maybe
he remembers, bro. He remembers.
Oh, how funny! It's not going to be the last time I put my foot in my mouth. I promise. So, what others? As far as the brand is concerned, like you talked earlier about how you're still trying to define like what the marketing message is going to be and how to go to market. What's that process like, and how do you feel you've done over the last 8 months, and what kind of things do you want to accomplish in the future with that?
Yeah, I think with the team we have, I think we've done a pretty good job of I guess spreading the message. There's been, I'd say, a bunch of bumps in the road with, trying to get traffic to the new website, trying to get, a social media following and all of that, Currie kept that side of the business. They kept the name, right? So, how do we grow, the RockJock brand? And, a lot of that I feel like is done through social media and being present at events and all of that, which we can't even go to anymore, but,
what are those?
Yeah. Someday in the before times. It was back in the before times.
But yeah, I think the goal is just to continue pushing the RockJock name. And, I think some of the big accounts, big WDs, I think it takes them a little bit longer to understand because, the direct team I'd say you interact with can pick up on it pretty quick. But when a lot of these companies, they have, hundreds of employees and salespeople or whatever, it's a little bit harder to get that message across. And really it's going to be getting that message to the end consumer. So they're asking for the product. Like, oh, I need a RockJock anti-rock, not the Currie anti-rock. I need a RockJock anti-rock.
Do you want us to start spreading rumors? We'll start spreading rumors that the Currie anti-rock isn't as good. You got to go with the
RockJock one.
No, don't. The RockJock one is way better.
I'll end up there somewhere.
We can smear campaigns. We're all over it, dude. We can help you with that.
This is how you get in trouble.
I know.
The foot just went back into your mouth.
I told you, it's not going to be the last time. That's what I do. I'm here to.
You're so bad at this.
I figured you would put like a RockJock sticker in your background at least. I just change it out every podcast.
You know what? I will. I have to tell Brian to send me some RockJock swag to put on the wall here. Well, like this wall's all going away. Like I said, we're going to build a new studio. I got to figure out how we're going to put all the stickers up there. But I'll get some from Brian and make sure we get some posted up.
Can we leave that FX4 sticker?
No, I put that up specifically for you. I took it off of the truck and I put it up there, and I put it up at this angle because I've been waiting for 3 weeks for you to say something about it.
No.
Hey, there you go.
So obviously, like we just talked about, events are dead recently. You know what I mean? But it looks like the off-road, the adventure. I mean. The expo is going on. Overland Expo is happening in July. I just recently saw that that's coming up. So I'm thinking maybe after July, some of these other events are going to start popping up. When they do, are you guys going to hit the event circuit pretty hard?
Yeah, we're still kind of playing that all out and trying to understand exactly how we want to kind of jump back into it and make it worthwhile. Our plan is to be at Overland Expo, but I guess as everything starts to open up, as we learn more about how the events are going to run and people are going to attend them, I think it's kind of as everything's thrown at us, we're going to make decisions.
Yeah, everything's fluid right now. That Phoenix could burn down between now and then. Who knows? I mean, it's nutty out there.
Oh, wow.
Well, good thing it's in Flagstaff, not Phoenix.
Oh, well, I'm thinking we've got a listener named Tim in Phoenix. He'll probably be the first one to light fires out there. He's the one that's going to start the trouble in Phoenix and then trickle into Flagstaff.
Run up the mountain.
Because those events, I mean, talking about getting your name out there and the brand, that those events seem to be like a really good way to connect face to face with customers and really make them understand what the product and the brand is, right? I mean, do you agree with that? Yeah,
for sure. I think, and for us, it's hard to track. Okay, what were your sales from this specific event? And I think we have to look. We have to look past that. We can't be looking at the dollars and sales that we do in an event. It's more of the impressions we got, right? And meeting potential customers face to face and creating that you're part of the family. Like, let us know what you need. Feeling, and I think that's what I like enjoy and what I like to see. It's like, hey, we're all in this industry, right? We all enjoy being outside. Let us help you enjoy it more, with our products. Let's help you get further and not have to worry about your vehicle breaking down or something, right? And how do we make them feel like they're part of the family and can trust our products and ultimately buy from us, whether it's direct through a distributor or whatever. It doesn't matter to me as long as you're running RockJock product, and we start seeing more stickers out there on people's vehicles and getting tagged in posts on social media more and more. That's kind of what makes me smile and get up every day.
Well, and I see it. I mean, I've been following your guys' media stuff for a long time, through the connection with Brian and Aaron when he was there. And I've seen you guys, the social media stuff growing, and it appears that, my perspective, the brand recognition is getting more noticeable. You guys have those bitchin' Jeeps that are all, that look just super cool. Every time you see pictures of them, I'm jealous. Yeah, they all match. That's cool. But I think that to your point, in today's world, growing, because we can't be out there face to face, growing the social media presence is such a big part of how you get your brand recognized. And I mean, there are companies that spend millions of dollars with full-time agencies doing exactly that, trying to build brands. And that's one of those things that, we fight with it all the time, trying to grow a brand on social media. And, what do you do for the next thing to get the next 10 people to follow you? Right. So, but I think it's a combination of your guys' the legacy of your name, and then what you just said about making people feel like they're part of the family. I've always felt that from the Currie brand, from the RockJock band, because you guys are always willing to talk to us, or when I see you guys at booths, you're hanging out with people, having a good time. So I mean, I guess I'm no prophet, but I mean, it looks like you guys are doing the right things and you're going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think for us, it's like there's so many, you can go out and buy followers all you want, right?
But that's not going to translate to sales, so it doesn't do you any good.
That doesn't do anything.
I'm up for sale. Just, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing, but I'll follow anybody for some money.
A little bit. Yeah. So for us, that whole organic growth of just being part of the community, responding back, answering questions, being available, I think that's the approach we're taking. There may be quicker ways to grow, but I don't think that's going to necessarily change what we're selling. I think growing organically, interacting with our potential customers, interacting with, enthusiasts that are out off-roading using their vehicles is kind of how we've kind of staged or set ourselves up to grow our platforms. So.
Yeah, well, you guys are doing it. Your product is fantastic. It's got a long history of performance. You guys are, participating in all the races. I mean, you look at any of the Ultra 4 cars, there's anti-rock sway bars on all of them. I mean, it's, I feel like, and again, I find this very interesting looking from the outside. I feel like, from my perspective, the RockJock name is already a big name. Like, it's already in the industry, and
it's like an industry standard.
Yeah, it's an industry standard.
Yeah.
There, it's a staple.
I think it is for sure, and I think part of that is also from the axle side, right? So the RockJock 60, the RockJock 70, and all of that had gained a lot of traction, and they are rebranding, remarketing their like the off-road or Jeeper ends as Currie 60, Currie Extreme 60, Currie 70, all that.
It's not as cool. It doesn't sound as cool.
It's different. My dad came up with that name.
Yeah. So he's taking it with you.
So we had to obviously keep that.
That's what I'm saying. The RockJock name is super cool. Extreme 60, whatever with that.
No, it's one of the it's definitely it's a big well-known name. Now it's just getting it back reconnected with our product line, and the Johnny Joint is part of that family.
Yeah.
The anti-rocks are part of that family. Correct link steering is part of that family. Like, how do we connect everything back together? And that's what we're working on, trying to make sure everyone knows.
Well, again, it's encouraging for me to hear you say that you're working on it, because I think I can speak for the three of us on our side, you've already done it. You know what I mean? So from the consumer side, like, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit for what you guys have already accomplished. So, if you keep that humble, like we're trying to build our brand for recognition, and I'm in the background going, how could you have more recognition? But I think it's cool to hear that part of it for people on the outside looking in at a large company, a large name, and how you guys are facing some of the same challenges that new startups are, and the constant drive to create a better process and a better product and more connection with your customer. It'd be way different to have an interview with someone like you and they say, well, the brand's big enough, we're not really going to worry about it. It's going to do what it's going to do. You know what I mean? Whereas you're saying, no, we want to be part of the community and we want to connect with our customers. And I think that's very encouraging.
Yeah, no, I want to be able to, connect with everyone,
Don't say that. Matt will come to the house for pizza. Matt will be showing up pretty soon just to see what you got going on.
Start making Nissan parts.
We have a sign. We have a sign out front. No visitors. Just will call. Stay outside the door.
I'll just wave.
We're gonna start tailgating out in front of the RockJock facility there,
and say no tailgating.
Yeah,
say no tailgating.
We've had tailgates. We throw little parking lot parties with all the employees, and
nice.
That's cool.
Good time.
Well, man,
I just offered me a job. Just offered me a job.
Well, you're gonna throw the parking lot party?
Yeah, you can barbecue.
If that's my job, I'll do it.
That's funny. So, going back to everything that you're doing, is there anything else that you want to, any other message you want to convey or talk about where people can find the products and, what's like the one thing that you want to get across?
Yeah, I think we're a family company. We want families to enjoy the outdoors and off-roading and everything like we do and we have and I have since I was born. So we make products so people can spend time out on the trail, not worrying about breaking down and having the best most comfortable ride through a trail with their family and be able to enjoy it. So I think we're a small company. We make a lot of awesome product, but we're ready to grow and become partners with all of our customers all over the world. Really, obviously we're really we have a lot of traction in the U.S. and we're starting to grow internationally as well, which it's really exciting to see. And I can't wait for the day that I'm on vacation somewhere and I see a RockJock sticker on a random car driving by. So that's.
We'll put one on Matt's truck and we'll just have him stock the neighborhood.
Back and forth.
It'd be
out of the country.
the only Nissan Frontier with a RockJock sticker on it.
Yep.
I'm sure we can get an anti-rock on there somehow.
There you go.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. That'd be great. Well, he's about to.
Universal kids.
I bet Matt would put it to the test. I'll tell you that right now. Matt doesn't go lightly on anything he owns. So if you want crash test dummy type work, you let us know, and Matt will take care of it for you.
That's where we have to be careful with my dad. He's obviously the national rock crawling champion, and he's done a lot in the industry, but he's so easy on equipment that we need to make sure it gets tested in other people that are low.
Matt's your guy.
Matt's your guy. I tell you right now, give him the keys and just tell him to break it. And if it can be broken, he will find a way to break it. That's that's.
I don't have any comment there. I pretty much agree with everything you guys just said.
Yeah, my dad wanted, growing up, him and his brothers. My grandpa worked at Taylor Dunn golf carts, and that's kind of how Currie got started originally, making drive terrain. Or my grandpa was buying, 9-inch quarter ends that were then converted into, industrial golf cart applications. And he was, I think he was production manager, and he'd bring home these golf carts and let my dad and his brothers just destroy them and see how they can break them and what they would break. So they had whole obstacle courses and everything. They were R&D test drivers from when they were 10 years old or whatever, driving these golf carts around the Orange Grove in Anaheim.
I'm jealous. That sounds like a good time, man. And just to think that the golf cart obstacle course has now become the rock crawling champion, new industry, pioneers of the industry, RockJock products. I mean, it's crazy to think about how your grandpa throwing your dad in a golf cart turned into this. What's that, 30 years later, 40 years later? 50 years later.
That's like 60 something. So yeah, 50 years later.
Wow. 50 years later. So guys, 50 years from now, maybe we can do something with our lives. Maybe we'll amount to something.
Maybe we'll see a trail chaser sticker on a car other than our own.
Other than our own.
Yeah, other than mine.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, especially considering that I insulted your entire family once before and you guys just kind of let it go.
We'll try to forget about that someday.
It'll never go away. Jose brings it up all the time. Yeah. But no, thank you so much for joining us and for coming on and let us talk about your product and get the message out. And anything we can do to help going forward, we're here to help. I mean, like I said, to us, the RockJock name is a staple in the industry. It's, one of those products you look at and you go, man, someday. And so, kudos to you guys for what you've done so far. And I'm really excited about what you're going to do in the future. So thanks again. I appreciate your time and you have a great night.
Yeah, you as well. Thanks, guys.
All right.
You're listening to a 4x4 Radio Network podcast.
The Trailchasers podcast is a member of the 4x4 Radio Network. If you want more off-road shenanigans in your ear holes, go to 4x4radionetwork.com to hear episodes of the Jeep Talk Show, the 4x4 podcast, the Center Steer podcast, and On the Trail with Kevin and Scott.
Hello?
Jeremy Healy, this is Cody Sisson with the Trailchasers podcast. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great, Cody. How are you?
You are currently being recorded, not live stream because I didn't want to do that to you, but you're currently being recorded, and I've got Matt and Jose sitting here, and I asked them.
I was going to say, we're on here too.
Yeah.
Just so no surprises.
Okay.
I asked them if they saw what you did today, and they both said no. So I decided to call you directly and have you explain to Matt and Jose what you did last night.
Oh, man.
Are you in trouble?
Yeah, what's going on here?
Oh, no. I was in deep conversation. I was having an intellectual conversation with the wife there. So
Oh, I apologize.
I did sideways look.
Tell Emily I apologize. This will only take a couple minutes. I just wanted to see the look on their face.
So what I did is I woke up yesterday and I was fired up. I wanted to buy a mid-sized truck, and I wanted to buy the best mid-sized truck that was available to me.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
And
Oh, wait, don't tell me you got a Ford.
I just put everything down on paper, and I said, look, I've got options A, B, C. And I drove down to the Ford dealership, and I picked up a 2020 Ford Ranger. And I'm
You're fucking lying, dude. You're lying.
I was hoping.
I gotta validate this.
I saw the picture and I thought I was praying, please at least get the Mustang.
Oh,
I saw that. Please. Oh man.
No.
dude.
Oh my God, it's a white one.
I can't
wow.
I can't have a Tacoma. I need 10 gears. I need
Yes.
a turbo.
Yes.
An electronic
Did you not hear the Mojave episode?
Yeah,
what
you
happened
need
to it?
You need a turbo that overheats on a couple of little sandy hills.
Oh, come on.
Well, my truck came with the driver mod, so we're doing okay. We're in good hands.
Trail Rangers, get out there and chase your adventure. Trail
All right,
Rangers.
well, go ahead. And me and Jose are going to start like a real podcast about conspiracies and real four-wheeler.
Yeah, we're going to replace Matt and Jose with Jeremy from so we can start talking about Rangers.
About Nissans and 20-plus-year-old Toyotas.
Yeah, the first conspiracy we're going to talk about is how much Ford paid you so you can drive around that truck.
Exactly.
Hey, man,
Exactly. And how many of them did they give you? Because they're breaking down. And that one looks slightly different than the one. It's like the General Lee from. They just keep exchanging them from Dukes of Hazzard.
Hold on, Matt. Jeremy, we didn't even hear that last part because Matt was going on about the General Lee. What'd you just say?
I said when that royalty check comes in from Ford, I'll take you all out to a nice meal, like Subway. I'll treat you to
whatever you want from the dollar menu.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Go wild. Go nuts, guys.
And what color is it, Jeremy?
It is Oxford White.
Yes, it is.
Our Ford owners call it Oxford White.
Yes, it is. It is Oxford White.
Yeah, we did the Sport 4x4.
Yep.
I was down to two identical trucks from the outside. They're inside too. They're identical, and the Sport 4x4 had pretty much all the bells and whistles I wanted. Manual seats. I'm not big on power seats, especially for trucks that go off road. It's just one of those things that go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They're super nice, but I didn't need it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got manual seats. I got all the technology I needed. I didn't get navigation, so I may have a hard time chasing trails. I might need to stop and find them before I go chasing them.
I clearly don't have any navigation either. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I got the locker. I got 4-wheel drive. I mean, I talked to Cody. Cody said the train management, it's cool, but it's one of those things that's, I don't want to call it gimmicky, but you guys were out on the Mojave Trail, and what you said you only clicked it in the sand mode once.
Yeah, I don't see the train management is more of a pain in the butt trying to figure out what mode to be in. Put it in 4-low and drive. I mean, and that I will rarely use the terrain management on that Wrangler. I mean on the Ranger. I wanted it, and
on that Wrangler.
Sorry, Freudian slip. I wanted it, but now that I have it, it's one of those things where like I told Jeremy when we talked about it a few days ago, don't go spend the extra money for it. It's not something that you will need.
Yeah, exactly. And I appreciate a simple truck. You know, maybe this is why I've been so in love with my Titan, because it's not all the bells and whistles, this, man, and the other. Get in, turn the key, and you go. You put it in 4-wheel drive, and you hit the gas and go. And I feel like this Ranger, you know, if I'm going to buy it, this is the first new vehicle I bought in my life.
Wow.
And it was just enough bells and whistles. My 2008 Nissan Titan didn't have cruise control, so now I have cruise control. You know, we're
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. So,
do you know that other manufacturers put cruise control in their vehicles?
My 94 has cruise control, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah. My 95 240SX piece of junk had cruise control on it and still worked. But yeah, I mean, I think it's the perfect blend of, getting the goodies, the off-road goodies. You know, I got the logger, got this and that and the other, but skipped on some of the other stuff and tried to save a buck. And, you know, I went into the dealership wanting the 84 month, 0%, and we wound up getting a 2020. So it was 72 months, but the payment was right there. It was exactly what I needed to be. And the dealership worked with me, which was awesome. I tried to visit a local dealership to me, and they kind of gave up on me after a day. I think it's because of my coronavirus haircut, and I'm just looking shaggy, and I look like a punk kid. And
trust me, dude. They're gonna work.
Well,
Any person that goes onto the dealer right now, they're like, "What do we have to do to make the sale?"
Yeah. So the first dealership, I just felt like, you know, they thought I was some punk kid and just giving them the runaround. But went down to Fairview Ford, and they took care of me and drove 3 different trucks, I think, and you know, they let me go play around in the parking lot and take traction control off and get stupid. And they spent 10 hours with me. I think I'm a pain in the ass. I'm a self-proclaimed pain in the ass. But I think 10 hours later, and I wound up buying a truck. So,
woo, yeah. Well, that's me too. I don't like leaving thinking like this guy got over. Yeah, this guy knows he got over on me. I'm going to make him work. That's all.
Yeah,
that's it. At least I got to go away feeling that.
Yeah, I got a couple of Cokes and a slice of cold pizza out of it, and I got to watch the start of the San Bernardino riot. So it was a show.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
Yeah,
well,
so
that's cool, man. Congrats, bro.
I wanted to get you on here.
And I've actually had a couple. Actually, you guys just had him on the show. David Boyd reached out to me, and he was ribbing me pretty hard from Nissan Nation podcast or Nissan Nation Productions.
Yeah.
He was giving me a pretty healthy dose of crap on jumping teams, but you know, we'll see what the Ranger brings to the market, and maybe I'll have my tail between my legs. But right now, this Ranger is kicking
I'll
ass.
tell you, I have seen it with the hood up, all hot and bothered, sitting on the side.
Ooh.
I dropped back into that bowl. Turned a couple laps, came up.
Yeah.
Do you need any help?
But you lollygagged.
Do you need a jump, sir?
But you lollygagged through that bowl for a little. Like, I hit it like a man.
Nope. That's an impossible saying, me lollygagging anything, and you know it.
All right, dude.
There's only 2 speeds. There's only 2 speeds with Matt, on and off.
Yep.
That's right. On, baby.
Yep.
All right, dude. I don't want to go back to your wife. Tell her we said we're sorry for interrupting your evening. I just wanted to get you on the phone to have this conversation and let them know that you now have the best truck in the world.
It's okay.
Congrats, man. I'll give you a congrats.
So I appreciate the call, and let's get this thing all tuned up and get it out on trail soon.
Awesome.
I am going to drive it like bone stock. I'm probably not going to touch it for a good month. I just got to get my baseline. I've got to get my old man feel in there and really understand, you know, how soft and squishy this truck is in stock form and everything it needs, and then I can go throw parts at it and feel justified.
I'll tell you right off the bat, that back end is like a pogo stick, dude.
Well, he didn't get the FX4. He didn't get the FX4, so I don't think it's not as because the FX4 suspension on the back end of that truck is like super bouncy, and Jeremy and I have talked about this. But I'm curious to know your thoughts on the sport suspension without the FX4 package, if it's the same.
So, you know, that's something that you probably have more experience with. As far as I know, the FX4 is it just different shocks? Because
it's just the shocks.
It's just different shocks. So I know the tow rating goes from like 6,500 pounds to 7,500 pounds with the tow package, which is just a hitch, which I got. But the FX4, I think it's just shocks. And I'll tell you what, out of all the stock Rangers I've driven, which I say all, but I think that's about 3 different stock Rangers. I think 2 of them were FX4s, and then I'm driving mine. And mine feels considerably softer. Mine rides really nice on the street in stock form. Obviously, I haven't, taken it through our little test loop near Icon. I haven't, ditched over it or anything like that, or driven over speed bumps at 40. But just driving on the highway, this thing is super, super, super smooth. So I'm impressed, and I'm gonna, drive it for like a month and kind of get my baseline fuel mileage going, and just get a feel for the truck in stock form, and then we'll go screw it all up. It'll be fun.
Nice. I cannot wait to help you screw that up.
Yes, I'm very excited to avoid some warranties. So let's get after it. Just kidding. Ford, if you heard that, we're going to redact it.
No, Ford's not listening to this.
Ford hates us.
Yeah. Well, me and Matt.
Yeah.
Well, I got to say, between Cody and Rory over at AAC, I was getting both arms twisted by both these guys, and they succeeded, and I'm super pumped.
Yeah,
so,
what you guys don't know is that I've been talking to...
I appreciate the constant boasting of how great your truck is. It lead me to go.
It's all lies, by the way. It's all completely fake. What Matt and Jose don't know is I've been
awesome.
I've been having these conversations with Jeremy for a week, about, and I've been holding on to it. So oh God, I just can't wait. I'm waiting for it to happen. And as soon as I saw it today, I was like, we're going to talk about that tonight on the show. So,
that's funny.
Well, I'm glad I could be a part of that. I apologize. I know you reached out earlier today. Things are crazy at the shop. They let us go a little earlier today, all this riding and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a weird time we live in,
It is.
Nissan guys buying Fords.
God,
I don't know.
That's
man. It's
you know what?
all out of whack.
I was just thinking of the signs of the apocalypse, and that's one of them. That clearly is one of them.
I think so.
I'm really bummed out now.
Hey, if it's any consolation, I'm bringing the Titan home tomorrow. I kept it. So it's replacing that ratty old Toyota sitting in my backyard, and the Titan's probably going to become the toy, the off-road toy.
The next one.
I mean,
yeah.
Kelly's Blue Book value on it's like $6,500. I can't even go get. That's like a quarter of the price of a Razor, right?
Not even that. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
not even close. Yeah,
but you could get 3 Nissan Frontiers for that.
All of them kicking ass.
On trading. Yeah, how many? Can I trade my Titan for 2.5 Frontiers, please?
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I hope your guys' show has been going great, and I'm looking forward to getting this thing dialed in. You guys got shocks on the Frontier yet, Matt? You get it done?
That's going to be the next topic. We have to talk to Matt about his control arms, where the control arms are, because all that stuff is sitting in my. No, we'll talk about it next. But all the parts are sitting in my garage, and if Matt doesn't show up soon, I'm just going to start selling them. I'm just going to start new Nissan parts, ready to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy a Frontier and take those.
One off, just double the price on them, and they're one off.
Yeah,
custom built.
Yeah, it will be the Trail Ranger podcast after that, probably. All right, well, you guys enjoy your time. Hopefully in the next week or two.
Yeah,
I think
we got
to plan ahead.
Let's make it happen. I'm excited for that one. Even though I'm a Ford guy now, I'll still I'll stick around.
Yeah, what do you know, bro? You're a Ford guy now.
That's right.
Oh man!
Now that's just incentive to outrun you guys even more. Oh my God,
dude, that's if I went out and bought a Jeep. It's like, hey guys, I bought a new car. Actually, it's a Jeep.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oof.
No, that's when I know the apocalypse is upon us.
No, I'm going to get both of you in Rangers. We're all going to be Rangers here pretty soon.
And we'll all get tattoos. We'll be the Power Rangers.
Yes, the Power Rangers. We'll be the Power Rangers.
Oh, God. No.
Matt is so disappointed.
Cody's the pink one.
I'm the pink. I'll be the Pink Ranger.
Ratings anymore. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna finish up dinner and the show here. But let's jump on and talk more crap about Ford stuff and revisit this all after Matt gets icon shocks on that Frontier too.
Absolutely. So it'll be just like a regular episode.
there you go.
All right,
let's do a regular episode where we just talk
let's just
about
fire
Fords.
windows up. Just put that thing on repeat. There you go.
All right. Awesome, man. Go back to your dinner.
Thanks,
we'll talk to you later.
Right
Thanks,
on.
man.
You guys have a good one. Thanks for the call.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Later.
I cannot believe that, dude. I didn't see it on my feed.
I saw it yesterday evening, I
Oh,
want to say, and it
wow.
was like, oh no.
Yep.
And the first picture was somebody's doing something, and it was what did he say? Like,
Well, he had a picture
the
of a.
vehicle of my dreams or whatever,
Oh.
and it was like a Mustang.
No,
and then I saw like two Rangers in the background.
He had a picture of a
Send
Mustang
after.
in the foreground and a Ranger in the background, and it said one of these new Fords is getting a home today, and then he ended up getting the Ranger. But I
remember thinking, please be the Mustang.
last week he sent me a text message and asked me about the Ranger, and then when I went and dropped off the Dometic, he and I spent like a half hour having a conversation about it. And then I knew he was getting close. And then when I saw the post on Instagram, I was like, this is a beautiful day. So, okay.
Well, Matt, we lost another one.
Another one bites the dust. That's all right. That's all right. I'll make sure to get I'll have to get a tow hitch on the back so I can drag them around. Don't worry. I'll take care of that, guys. Jose's really good at pulling people out too.
Yeah, I'm playing double duty now. I'm gonna have to pull out 2 Rangers.
Yep.
All right. So since Jeremy brought it up, Matt, your custom Icon front coilovers, your custom with reservoirs, your custom Icon rear shocks with reservoirs, and your Icon alloys are all sitting in my garage.
Let's do it. What we could have done it.
Yeah, we're waiting.
Could have done it this weekend.
You need control arms.
I do. I need to settle on a set. I've done some research, and I'm trying to be like cost effective too. But I don't know what I think. Jose, what did you say was the top ranked or best set in your opinion?
The common name that keeps coming up is what was the one word?
PRG, the
PRG,
yeah,
PRG, and that's kind of. I mean, look, that's kind of one thing you don't want to skimp on. It's like control arms.
Yeah.
But
I think
that's the name that keeps coming up.
I think Total
like forums and stuff.
I think Total Chaos makes
Total Chaos makes them. I think.
Yeah, but I want to say I want to feel like they're pretty.
They're like probably $800 or something.
$821 for the Total Chaos arms.
That's a look. I'm not climbing any buildings or anything like that. I still got to drive to work and stuff. And I got to convince my wife to give me the money to buy them. So
the PRG ones are $500, and then there's those ones that Dave from Nissan Nation told us about. I think I sent you the
Rock
link?
Auto ones, right?
From Rock Auto. There's the Rock Auto ones.
They were good.
Yeah. So
take a look at those.
My understanding is from him is that they're pretty much like PRG knockoffs, or they're
it's like the same, but
same
just
design,
sub-branded, right?
Yeah, and those, if I recall, were $400. Let me see. I'm going to the Rock Auto website right now, and if Nissan 2018 Frontier 4.0 suspension control arm. Yeah, they've got these Mevotech complete arm with ball joint, front upper plus or minus 1.5 degree camber, plus or minus 1.5 degree caster. So that's the additional camber and caster for the lift, and they're $200 a piece. And I looked at these before. They're the same. They're the exact same part, and then the ball joint at the end, you just unbolt and flip over. So you flip it this way for driver side, this way for passenger side.
Huh. Seems weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Do me a favor. Click buy.
You want to give your credit? Give your credit card number over the air. Everybody, get your notepad.
Over the interwebs.
Get your notepad ready.
Get ready, guys. Get ready to order some McDonald's because that's probably all you're going to be able to get on one of my credit cards. Maybe McDonald's. Don't supersize.
So yeah, that's. I mean, we're down to control arms. Once we get a set of control arms, man, we're ready to go.
Yeah. So we were like, kind of exploring other options, but I think I'm just going to pull the trigger on them probably this week. And then, like you said, as soon as we have those in hand, that's going to get the ball rolling. And, we'll have to pick a weekend. I know next weekend we're talking about studio stuff, right?
Yeah.
Are we in full construction mode, Saturday or something?
So, Jose came over this weekend and, was looking at, he and I looked at the our options for the studio, and we've been talking for a long time about
I just lost you.
I saw that. For some reason my audio come back in?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay.
Yep.
So for a long time we've been talking about converting the one car garage over here as the new studio. But we are going to do it differently. We're going to put the studio in the big garage over there, for various reasons. We'll talk about it as we do the build. But, I spent some time today doing like CAD drawings of what it's going to look like to try to figure out what the materials cost is going to be. I got to go through that tonight with Tammy and figure out budget wise if we're in a position to be able to drop the coin to do it. And if that's the case, I mean, we're essentially just going to build a whole new room inside the garage, like a full, 4 walls and a ceiling inside the garage there. And I feel like, between us and my brother and, some help, we can probably make a lot of progress on that in a weekend. It'll probably take us a handful of weekends to get done, but, in the meantime, we'll still split the studio. The back behind the scenes here, and I think we've talked about it, is Tammy started a new job. Her job is full-time remote. This studio is going to become her full-time office. So like today, she got out of here like after 4, almost 5 o'clock, and I had to run in here and get her computer all unplugged and get all my stuff connected and ready for the studio. So, she will eventually take over the studio and we'll move into a different room. But yeah, I think I'll know tomorrow or Wednesday if we're going to be able to pull the trigger on that this weekend. But your suspension has been on the dock for a while. So if we get those control arms in and we got to skip a week of construction on the studio to do your control arms, I mean, I think that's a good use of time.
Yeah, I think so. So, I'll look into it this week.
Okay.
And so hopefully have them in hand in the next week or two. And, dude, I'll be smashing in whatever.
Gashing?
What?
Yeah. Like,
so what size?
Slicing and dicing.
What size
planning
tires?
a trip to the lava tubes because you know what's on the way to the lava tubes? That fun ass sandy
Renegade Highway.
Whatever. The Renegade Highway. That's right.
Yeah.
What tires are you going to run on that?
Should be able to get 33s in there, right?
Yeah, the same as mine, the 285 70 17s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think those should fit from what I've read. So that way it'll be an even playing field.
Well, I mean, I'll still be in a Ford, so I'll have
exactly. So you're right.
So you're right.
You will be
The upper hand.
handicapped a little bit.
Yeah, Matt has the upper hand still. You're right.
Jackasses. Jackasses.
I love it.
So I'm trying
it's not gonna mean anything like smashing you. It's just gonna be like, yeah, I expected to do that. Like, it's the only way. You were keeping up with me before. Never mind.
The looking at the Rock Auto, it doesn't tell me if it's in. I I can't tell if it's in those things are in stock or like what
It would say out of stock.
does it. So I don't know what the shipping.
It would.
I would.
Shipping's probably going to be like another $20.
No, I meant like delivery time.
You choose. I think like how fast.
Oh, okay. So
Can I also choose them to come out and put them on for me?
Yeah.
Click here if you want them to magically appear on your truck. Yes, please.
dude, we can easily drop the parts in your truck off at the shop and have somebody else do it, but that doesn't make any sense. We should do it ourselves. Jeremy said he'd help. I think we need to do it ourselves and film the madness. We didn't do a good job of filming it when we did my truck because it was kind of like
or mine
or yours, yeah. So when we do
Jeez.
the Nissan, when we do the Frontier suspension, I won't touch any tools. I'll be responsible for the filming. I'll just sit
Hey, Matt. So it's $9.99 for shipping to get them here by Thursday.
Damn. $9.99?
Yeah, or if you want them Wednesday, it's $35 for shipping.
Yeah. So I don't know,
get your
as far as it
control
being
arms
like
here.
a universal upper control arm. That seems kind of hokey.
Call Dave.
This came from
This came
Nissan.
from Dave from
Nissan
Nissan
Dave,
Nation.
yeah.
Yeah. You can
Okay.
reach out to him and ask him.
Are we on the forums? We're not live.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
We
We're not live.
stopped doing live after Brandon. I bet if you reached out to him, he'd tell you exactly what his thoughts are on that. And if you get your control arms here, I'll work on getting the tires here by this weekend. We could do your Nissan this weekend and push the studio to the following week.
All right. Well, what Thursday, Jose?
Yeah. So you have two options for Thursday. AM, you can get them in the AM, early AM by 8:30 for $130, or Thursday afternoon or Wednesday afternoon. Sorry, yeah, for $35, or Thursday for $9.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, $9.
Nine, yeah.
Come on.
Just saying.
You know. Man, okay. Well, woo. It looks like I gotta get my negotiation hat on and go downstairs. Talk to Monty,
Talk
see
to
what's
the
going on.
chief financial officer about your purchase.
The CFO. Yep. See how that goes. Wish me luck, guys. So
Well, and I would think that we'd be able to do. I mean, we did the Ford, the Ranger in a day, and like you guys all helped that first day, and then I finished the back myself.
Yeah,
I would think with the four of us, if we get Casey down here, because Casey said he'll come down whether we're doing the Frontier or the studio build, he'll come down. And between the four of us, we should be able to get that knocked out in a day and a half.
you know, we can if I talk to my dad, we can do it on the lift.
Mm-hmm.
We're not on our hands and knees rolling around.
That would be good. Like Jeremy
Makes for a better video if
Yeah.
we're like on our hands and knees, but you know.
but Jeremy
that
was wrong.
That was like medieval, Jose.
Jeremy was saying that we
underlying
should definitely articulate the suspension up and down, and then crank the wheel left and right, and make sure that nothing's just to make sure, because these are custom built shocks, just to make sure there's nothing rubbing or bumping or hitting. So if we can do it on the lift, that would probably be better. Remember when we did the Renegade? For some reason,
we worked the whole time at like knee level.
Yeah,
anyhow, we could have lifted the damn thing up however high we wanted.
It wasn't
and
until
my dad's just sitting there with a cocktail in his hand, laughing the whole
at the end of the day, I'm like, this is stupid. My back hurts because we only lifted it 4 feet off, just enough to get the tires off the ground. We didn't lift it up into the air because we're dumbasses.
True dumbasses.
And 10 hours later, you had those 4 pucks in.
Yes, 10 hours later, Matt's dad was like, that lift goes higher, right?
Yeah, he didn't say shit until the end, shaking his head. Yep.
Stupid. Oh,
thanks, Dad.
In other news, other exciting news, Thursday, Presley was at my brother-in-law's house for a couple days, and Thursday, Tammy and I went and picked up some dinner and went to a park and sat on a tailgate to have some dinner. And as soon as I popped the tailgate open, Tammy goes, "You need a new mountain hatch." And I went, "Really?" So guess what I bought?
Nice.
I bought a mountain hatch for the Ford. It showed up the next day, and I'm going to install it probably tomorrow. Speaking of which, we're supposed to give away the Frontier mountain hatch today.
Oh man,
I forgot.
How'd that go? We were supposed to get like comments and stuff.
We
I
did.
thought.
We got several entries.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we got several. Let me go find the entries.
Can I comment on having used the mountain hatch for its? I used it as a cutting board in.
Yeah.
What did you just did a hand gesture at
Oh
me.
no,
What-
keep going.
Oh, yeah, man. It was bitchin'. So I had like you guys saw my little tailgate barbecue. It folds up, to like counter height or whatever. It's just a little Coleman thing. And then I had the tailgate down with my mountain hatch cutting board. And so I was, had it wiped down and cleaned really well and cut up my carne asada and cooked off of it, with my tortillas. And it was awesome. It really, that's where it shines,
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, we're always using it as, like sitting and having lunch or whatever off of, like on our daily, trips or whatever. It was like pretty awesome using it as a cutting board, slicing up meat and, just like having a big giant cutting board right next to you was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things you didn't realize you needed until you had it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
When you first hear about this product, you're like, I don't understand. There's already a tailgate insert there, and then you get one, and you're like, how does not every truck in the world not have this?
How does it
insert?
not just come factory like this?
That's what it is. See, they're like dealers. They gave you a hit like when I got it on my Tacoma, and now I can't own a truck without a mountain hatch on it anymore. Like I have to.
Yeah, it's like a go-to.
You have to have it. So I'm excited about putting mine on the Ranger in the next day or two.
I hope it doesn't affect the Ranger's performance in any way.
It's gonna make it better.
Well, who knows? I wouldn't want to disturb the Ranger.
It's very delicate. It's very delicate.
It might be allergic to stuff. Who knows? Hey, nice foot. Look at you see your foot up on the. Never mind.
Well, we're not live streaming right now. I can put my feet up. It's just you guys. You guys don't care.
I guess it's gross.
Some people are into
All right,
It's good.
put my foot
It's
down.
gross from here.
All right, so
Sorry.
I have a list. Let me see if I'm gonna share with you the list of all of the entries we have.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Let me see. I'll show you right now. All right, you guys, let me know when you can see that.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, so these are the entries we got for this contest, and I'm going to go ahead and go to the random number generator and put in the minimum and the maximum. I'm going to hit generate. You guys ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, generate. All right, let's go back to the list. The random number chose Alex Sagisi. Alex Sagisi is the winner of the Mountain Hatch. Alex, he's been a listener for a long time. I appreciate all the other people. Francis was on there, Jerome, Octopus Hook, a bunch of other people that we know submitted those entries. And, thank you for supporting the Nissan Nation Productions. And you guys won't hear this until Thursday. So when the episode drops on Thursday, I will be sending Alex a email letting him know that he won, and I know for certain he's going to put that mountain hatch to use.
Yeah, doesn't he? Where does he live? He's on Instagram all the time. I don't like Florida.
Is he? Is he a Florida guy?
I'm sorry, Alex. I know. I feel like I should know. But I'm a horrible person. I'm like a horrible guy. So, but congratulations, man. I'm stoked for you. Like this is a really cool item. You didn't get an orange one like mine, but I'm sure it'll still work the same. And we got to send them a list of hardware because
I think they fixed that issue by now.
The one that we have that he's getting does not have hardware.
What it doesn't reuse the hardware on the
No.
Oh no, Alex is a California guy, man.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, I got Florida on the brain.
That doesn't make sense. Yeah. Alex is
why?
I don't know. Something wrong with me.
Yeah, I'm on his Instagram profile right now. He's I don't know exactly where in California, but he's a California guy. So if he's local,
he can come get it. He can come right to your house.
Yeah, we'll connect with him. We'll do an install party. He can come when we do the suspension
Frontier
install.
when we do this. Oh man,
Yeah.
you're gonna make him go to work.
if he wants it bad enough, he'll help install. We'll sit back and film it while he installs the suspension.
There you go. That's funny.
No,
that would be cool though if he wants to come by and pick it up while we're working on the Frontier. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm not, like I said, I don't know exactly where he's at. We'll find out where he's located and either ship it to him or find a way to connect. And
there's a knock on the door like right now.
I know.
Yeah.
He's already there.
He's tapped in somehow. That's funny. So
cool.
Congratulations, Alex. Appreciate listening and I appreciate you supporting the Nissan Nation team. And hopefully we get to do some more of these giveaways with some other products. And for those of you that don't already have a mountain hatch, go buy one. Seriously, these things you don't even know how much you need one until you have one.
If you camp or, fish or hunt or something like that, like you're outdoorsy with it, it's even better.
Even better. But just for day-to-day use of the tailgate, like we were sitting out there, like I said, just trying to have dinner on the tailgate and it was worthless because of the ridges and all the other stuff. This one, so again, we love the Mountain Hatch guys. Thank you to them for supporting us. And thank you to the Nissan Nation guys for continuing to help support us as well. And
I hope Greg's okay. I think he had like some kind of procedure or something.
His appendix blew.
Yes. He's going to get a new appendix hatch installed, and what's funny
nice.
is I posted that on for those that you don't know. Fred posted on Instagram that he had an appendix issue and was in the doc.
Was it Fred?
It was Fred,
not Greg.
No, yeah.
And
okay.
And I made the comment, you need one of those new Fendangles appendix hatches, and I got a response that Mama Hatch liked it. I hope he's doing well. But again, those guys are great. The product is great, and I loved it so much on my Tacoma that I went and bought one for the Ranger. So
yeah, I still got to buy one for the FJ.
Yeah. They make them. They've expanded. I mean, ever since Matt guilted them into making the Frontier one, they've expanded to all kinds of different platforms now.
They have like a brick and mortar store, don't they?
I know.
I think so.
That's another thing.
You're welcome.
I had placed the order for mine, and then later that day they had posted something about the new brick and mortar shop, and I went, "Damn it! I didn't even think about that. I could have just called you guys and come down and picked it up." And then he's like, "How come you didn't think about that?" I'm like, "'Cause I'm dumb. I don't know. I just didn't think about it. I just went on. I was so excited that Tammy was like, 'You need to have one of these,' that I just ran to the computer and clicked as fast as I could before she changed her mind."
Yeah, they're probably like 20 minutes from my house.
Yeah,
25 minutes.
They're
from my
local.
house.
They're totally local. I didn't even think, and like I said, it ended up showing up next day. So, well, all right, cool. Well, thanks guys for that, and thanks Alex. Congratulations. We'll connect and make sure that you get your hatch, and Matt will tell you what kind of hardware you need because I did not know that was a thing, and go from there.
Yeah, I'll have to try and remember what that hardware was, but I'll figure it out.
All right, and the last thing. Well, we talked about it a little bit with Brandon in the interview. Jose, you said you wanted to talk about that Bronco video?
Yeah, so the YouTube channel TFL Truck, the Fast Lane Truck, they put out a video that they got from the Bronco Nation forum website that showing the new Bronco off-road out in the mud. It's pretty cool, man. Like they're showing. I don't know why they don't just release the truck by now. I mean, there's so much hype for it. I feel like that when they do show it, it's going to be overhyped.
Yeah. At this point, they might as well just soft release it on the internet and be done with it. But
at least like fake release a spy shot or something, right?
Yeah. Well,
another one, like an actual one.
Yeah. Yeah, but it did look it looked very Wrangler-esque, and
It looks like a Jeep, dude.
yeah, and it seems from the video it seems very capable. We talked a little bit how it's got that rear wheel dig on the tight turns, and I'd be willing to bet there's a bunch of new tech in that thing. I saw another article with the interior of the Bronco, not the Bronco Sport, and it had one of those a really nice big navigation screen, and it looked like a really cool center stack. And
your Ranger could have used that huge navigation screen.
What? We didn't. One U-turn, my friend. One U-turn. So,
But it was ripping up the trails, dude. I don't know. They just need to release it by now, dude. Like, just get it out already.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I'd heard end of this year now. They pushed it to end of this year, but, who knows? Who knows what the COVID riot situation looks like,
That's true.
Yeah, who knows if everything's just going to be dirt roads in 5 to 6 months.
Matt,
that's why you need to get that out now.
I know.
Exactly. You got to get that 4-wheel now. You're not even going to have to worry about the payments. There's not going to be. You're going to be paying for nothing.
Matt, as
Thunderdome, there ain't no payments. There ain't no car payments in Thunderdome.
Matt, as you're watching the news and the world is burning down, are you like excited about getting that much closer to Thunderdome? I know it's something you've wanted for a long time.
Yeah, like I said, I was hoping to find Thunderdome before everything went to shit. So, like I said, I could, gain some type of standing, like a position of prominence in Thunderdome. And who knows how that's going to happen, if that's even possible. Just keep your eyes out for those big semis that are like cages with giant arms that swing out and like swoop you up and throw you in, just try and avoid those. You guys laugh, but watch when you see that shit. The first day you see it coming down Baseline or the 10 freeway, like, holy shit, Matt was right. That shit is swooping up on
people. Those are 3 words that I will never say. Matt was right.
Okay, well, all right. You know what? I hope for your sake, with your bad Achilles, because you ain't getting away from nothing. You ain't getting away from nothing, and you ain't gonna last long in the Thunderdome.
Oh, I know. Look, trust me, I know. I know that when the world comes to an end, I'm one of the ones that's getting eaten first. I get it. It is what it is.
You better start looking scary. That's all I'm saying. Like, grow a mohawk. Start wearing Raider gear.
Carry that spear around, dude.
Dude, I got my spear.
Walk around with that spear that you have.
Dude,
stop shopping at Bass Pro Shops.
Why you bagging on my spear, dude? My spear's awesome.
I don't know why you carry that thing around.
I don't carry it around. I take it camping.
Yeah, but why?
Why?
It weighed like 30 pounds. That's probably why your truck overheated.
No, dude, it's a SOG knife, spear knife that threads onto the end of a wooden handle, like a painting handle, and I wrapped it with mill tape. Well, it's mill tape. It's the thicker black mill tape. And because when we're out camping, imagine here's my scenario. This is going to be so bad. So let's say it's night and you're making your way out into the forest there to do some business, and you're caught off guard. I would rather have a spear with a 5-foot extension to the pointy end to try to catch something before it gets to me. If it's something
that's not going to stop Jose. It's still going to come right at you.
I'm just saying, if something's...
I'm just going to use the handle as just to pull myself forward closer to you.
If something's charging me, you're going
to say something else. You're going to use the handle for something.
No.
You're disgusting.
No,
you are.
I want if something's charging me, I want to have the additional length to prod at it to try to get to it before it gets to me. That's what I'm saying.
It's just too easy right now. Let's just change the subject. We're talking about
my spear's cool.
Lengths.
My spear is cool.
Next, start talking about girth, and then we'll have to end the show.
No. So, we're gonna end it. We're gonna end it now. So
Stop it now.
So enough about my spear. I make do with what I have. That's the story of my life. So anything else other than Matt getting his control arms and us deciding when we're going to build the studio?
No, I'm getting work phone calls, so we got to wrap it up, I think.
No. All right. Well, then that's it for the night. We will thank you for listening. Thank you for those that joined us on the live feed, and thank you to Brandon for joining us for the interview. Go check out RockJock and get all the products they have for your Jeep. All right, guys. Talk to you later.
I'm Presley, and thank you for listening. Thank you to Nexon Tire. Thank you to Icon. If you want to be on the show, call 951-394-DIRT. Thank you to Ryan Torino with all of the music.